Well, thank you for joining me on exercise 6E. I'm going to be looking at question 3, part B. And this says, given theta lies between 0 degrees and 360 degrees, so between 0 degrees and 360 degrees, find the value such that cos of theta is equal to negative 2.6. Well, what this is telling us over here is that we're dealing with all four quadrants. That's what we're saying, that it could be in quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, or quadrant 4. And so quadrant 1 is from 0 to 90 degrees. Quadrant 2 is from 90 degrees to 180 degrees. Quadrant 3 from 180 degrees to 270 degrees, or quadrant 4, 270 degrees to 360 degrees. Now, look, I'm a little bit frazzled because this question I noticed, and so my brain has been ticking away. I see negative 2.6. Now, we could say, which quadrant will this be? Cos is negative. We could probably go back and say, well, cos is positive in quadrant. It's not a quadrant 4. They're all positive in quadrant 1. It's not a quadrant 1. Maybe it's quadrant 2. Maybe it's quadrant 3. However, the thing is, yes, cos is negative in quadrant 2. Yes, cos is negative in quadrant 3. So maybe it's a quadrant 3 and a quadrant 4. However, it's not, because this number here, cos 2.6. Well, you may have spotted it, but cos theta is always between negative 1 and positive 1. The biggest value that cos could be is 1. And the smallest value that cos could be is negative 1. Another way of writing this is the absolute of cos theta is going to be somewhere between 0 and 1, but that's the absolute. The reason for that is because if you understand the cosine ratio is adjacent divided by the hypotenuse, right? Now, do you remember what is the longest side of the right angle triangle? So the longest side is the hypotenuse, and therefore usually this is a smaller side than the hypotenuse. The only time the adjacent side and the hypotenuse are the same are pretty much when the opposite side collapses. And that happens at 0 degrees, 180 degrees, 360 degrees. And if you did cos of 0, cos of 180, cos of 360, you'll get the value of 1, negative 1, 1. You will never get a number smaller than negative 1. So I could have made this question really fast. Right at the start, if you did this question, you could take 5 seconds to answer this. You could straight away say, 3b, and you see that cos theta is negative 2.6. Straight away you can say, there is no possible answer. There are no solutions for this question. You could have answered that immediately for theta. All right, there are no solutions for theta because cos theta will never be smaller than negative 1. I hope that's helped. Until next time, stay happy.